Do you have some suggestions for strength coaches or athletic trainers that are working with tennis athletes but don't have a tennis background? They may have been a football athlete or a soccer player or something from a different sporting background, but they're very knowledgeable in the body and how to train for speed, strength, power, flexibility, but just sort of lack that tennis understanding. What would you suggest for them? Because we get a lot of questions from that population group that works with tennis players or wants to work more with tennis players, but really struggle to understand the nuances of the game, the movement specific, and what you talked about earlier. How do you transition that physical training to the tennis court?
The best advice that I could give them, and I actually get it from a couple of people that work around me, is talk to coaches. Just from my perspective, having been a coach, that's how I promoted myself to the coaches. Was I can go out with the coaches, watch their players hit, talk to the coach, and say, okay, what are you trying to do with this player? You know, what style of game are you looking at? Where are their weaknesses? What would you like to see? And you'll get any number of responses. But if you don't have that background, if you go out and spend some time talking to coaches, watching them on the court, spend some time watching them on the court during a clinic, you can see the players and see their movement patterns. Take your iPad and do a little video. Video the player movement. And then break it down, because even though the of us have a lot of experience, there are things that we might not see, or it's actually a little bit different than what we think it is until we can slow it down and look at it. Some of the nuances that you can pick up are the way you split step, the different first step patterns, whether it's lateral or forward or a drop step. But talk to the coaches and try to get a feel for the game. And then I think that as a coach, you can take your background in whatever sport it is, whether it's football or soccer or track, and you can find a way to apply that to tennis or to any other sport. I've always felt like great coaches would be a great coach, or at least a very good coach in any sport. I always thought that John Wooden or Dean Smith would have made pretty good football coaches or pretty good baseball managers. There's something about coaching that is not sport specific. And if you have that and you can talk to some people who do understand the sport, you'll find a way to translate it. And by going out too and watching the actual movement on the court, you will be able to, if you have the training background, you'll be able to go out and find a way to make those things applicable in the gym or in the player's training. For example, you'll learn that when a player goes out to hit an open stance ground stroke, that they're setting up on a leg and that they need stability. You need to have the gluteus is activated, and those are the types of things that then you can take that in to the gym and look at it and say, if I have this player move out a couple of steps and give them a toss with a medicine ball and have them hold back, check for body positions, that's going to help them. So you'll find a way, if you spend a little bit of time, to go out and see the players on court and talk to the coaches.